Hello, everyone, and boy, do I have a couple of stories for you. So, first and foremost, this footage is recorded. This is the barn, as of me recording this, is actually finished, but I just had a couple of fantabulous stories to tell you. Let me tell you, like, let me just tell you. So, I had recently gone on a Facebook adventure where I had created a Facebook account for the purpose of networking because I'm trying to set up for adulthood, and networking is a very important part of getting jobs by other people. And so a lot of older people much older than what I imagine you and me to be, uh, use Facebook, and that's the generation before mine. I am currently, I think, Gen Z. I got no idea. Uh, I'm an adult. I have recently become an adult. That's it. So a lot of people that have been an adult for a couple years longer than me use Facebook, and people just friend each other on Facebook, which I have never understood, and it was just very strange to me because I come from the newer hip social media where you actually ask people before you friend them, and so people I know from work, they would just friend me, and I would be like, oh, all right, and so I would accept their friend request. Now, I was telling one of my coworkers about this one day, and he told me as an off comment, yeah, just friend everyone. And I think I mentioned to him that people I don't know were friending me as well. So that's why he said that. Yeah, just friend everyone. And so I know it was an off comment, and in hindsight, I definitely shouldn't have done that. But I took his advice and I just started friending everyone. And I knew what I was doing. I knew that it was just going to get out of hand pretty fast. But I didn't quite realize just how fast it would get out of hand. Now, I had started friending everyone on Facebook, and what I've discovered is not me sending out the friend requests, but other people accepting other people's friend requests. What I've discovered is that people just friend other people that they have never heard of and never talked to. At one point, I was getting hundreds of friend requests a day by people I have never met in my life and people I would never think of again after this. So it was interesting. It was interesting. I got to a point where I had 170 friends, and that's when I was like, yeah, no, this is done. I'm done with this. And then I unadded everyone. But before I did, I made a fascinating scientific discovery. I discovered that there are a lot of sexually frustrated homosexual individuals on Facebook. I have had so many people, mostly men, profess their love to me and ask me out. Ask me if I was single, ask me if I'm straight, ask me this and that. And some of these people would talk to me. Other people would just they didn't send a dick pic, but they made their intentions pretty clear. And so, this one fella, he sent me a Facebook. I was like, okay. I think I sent him a gif of somebody running into a wall. Then he sent me a picture of I really want to cuddle with you. Amazing. I then sent him a picture of a dog eating a cabbage. And it's a bunch of events like that have happened in my tenure adding everyone on Facebook. I've been asked out by numerous people. But I think my favorite one was this guy. I think you said he was gender questioning. I don't really remember what he said. But we talked for 5 sentences. And then he was like, "You're amazing. I love you." That's a huge red flag if somebody professes their love to you like that after 5 seconds of chat. So I ask him why. And we get into a conversation about that. He actually doesn't even give me an answer as to why. He just did it. I know why. He really wanted someone, and he didn't want to actually wait to get someone. But that's not what matters. What matters is that after I turned him down, after I told him I'm straight, I said, "Sorry, pal, I'm straight. You're not going to get me." He was like, "Okay, that's okay. Can I clone you? Can I clone you and make all of the clones different sexualities? So a gay one and a straight one and a bi one and so on and so forth." And this was weird. I think I would imagine that you're coiling your toes as you're hearing this. But He definitely didn't understand how creepy that was. So I humored him. I would go, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea. That way we can figure out which sexuality is the strongest." And I imagine as I'm telling you these, I'm going to be having pictures like pictures of the actual texts to pick up where I'm failing to talk about. But I don't really think he got what I was going for, even though I got what he was going for. He just wanted me to smash. So I had been solicited for sex by numerous individuals on Facebook, the majority of which I will never talk to again, nor did I ever intend on talking to. A lot of people just sent me thumbs up. I don't know what that means. They just they would say, "Hey, thanks for accepting me." I would go like, "Okay, yeah, no problem, man." And then I would just get a thumbs up. And then I would send something, and then they would just send me a thumbs up. It was very confusing. Facebook is a very wild place. I don't quite understand it, and I don't think I want to. But a lot of what I've discovered is that what it feels like to be a woman on social media, because I can only imagine that getting solicited for sexual intercourse by numerous individuals at a time is the average female experience on social media as a whole. And so I know what it's like for people to just call me out of the blue, presumably to like chat when they didn't ask, they didn't talk to me first, they didn't say anything to me. They just wanted to bang. So I know what that's like now. I know what it's like to have people not say or not take no for an answer, and still try to pursue you even though you made your intentions clear that you weren't interested. I know what that's like. I know what it's like for people to just like browse through your history on social media and comment on posts. That was creepy. But yeah, I learned a very valuable lesson on how women are treated on social media. And this isn't like, oh my god, I can't believe I was doing that kind of deal. It's not that, because I didn't really do that before, and I'm not doing it now, definitely. But I definitely learned like the people that would complain about that happening to them on social media, they weren't full of shit. That's what I learned. So yeah, it was a fun experience. Definitely never going to do that again. I might do it with a burner account, I should say, or like I don't really care who has me added, but I might do that again, just as quite literally a social experiment to understand just what people do to other people, because I don't really want to deal with that and the consequences of that. That's kind of scary. I don't want to get stalked. I don't want to have somebody show up at my house and then like kill me because I wasn't be with them. I don't want to have stuff like that happen to me, so I'm going to try to avoid it. I think that's a pretty understandable claim. But I also learned that like for gals that go on like dating apps, they go like some of them, not all of them. This isn't like all women are bad, not like that. But there are gals and just I imagine guys in general that go on dating apps specifically for validation, where they know that they'll get matches no matter what, for whatever reason. I don't really know if that's true, but I've heard stories about that being true. So people will go on social media, or sorry, dating apps to do that. I learned that like if you ever want that to happen to you, just go on Facebook. I got validation for free. I did nothing to earn it. I had like a couple of funny pictures. And then I had like numerous men professing their love to me. It was amazing, honestly. But yeah, just if you're ever in the dire need of validation, if you ever are feeling glum someday, and just want like positive feedback to know that you matter, just go on Facebook and add everyone. Add everyone as a friend. I wouldn't recommend it because it's gonna be a shallow acceptance. It's gonna be shallow validation, but it's validation nonetheless. So that's basically more or less like the big story. I've had a couple of other ones, but that's like the biggest one. It's the biggest discovery. I've also had, this was like a few days ago, but my music teacher from middle school, he we were driving, and I didn't know I was driving with him, but like he was in the car ahead of me, and we were driving. I was like an hour away from my home, and I hate driving. I despise driving. And let me tell you why I despise driving. People are insane on the road. People are absolutely crazy. I have been passed on a curve. I have been passed going down a hill. I have been passed going down a hill on a curve. I have had people merge into a highway that I was in, where I was like specifically in, without looking. I have had people like, it's just been crazy. And so I hate dealing with that because I don't want to get into an accident because somebody just has to get to where they're going 5 seconds earlier. I don't want to deal with that. So I hate driving now. So I was pissed driving home because I was driving during rush hour, an hour away from where I live. And in this like green buggy kind of deal is my music teacher. And I didn't know he was there, but he was there. And so we were driving together for like pretty much 30 minutes. I have no idea why he was out that way. But he stops me at some point on the road. Like he pulls to a stop sign. He gets out of his car, and I'm wondering, what the fuck is this guy doing? What in tarnation, what in God's green earth is this guy on the road, who I am not happy with because I am on the road with him? What is he doing? And the answer is like, he stopped me on the road to give me his mixtape. Now, his mixtape was actually pretty fun, but just telling that to people is absolutely insane. And so he wanted to strike up a whole conversation in the middle of the road. And I was like, dude, it's the road. We should probably, like, just give me your number. I'll call you. Or, like, let's pull over. So we ended up pulling over, and he just talked to me about his mixtape for, like, 10 minutes and then left. It was a very strange encounter of the third kind. So that was fun. Definitely something to make me remember that my existence has an impact on other people. Because it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable to talk to somebody again. And I don't mean that like I've been in isolation for the past year and a half, but I mean like somebody who I know from my past who remembers me and comes to me to strike up a conversation as opposed to me trying to keep in touch with them. It was great. It was honestly nice. And I imagine that's going to happen like more in the future where people will remember me and then see me in a grocery store or something and strike up a conversation. But that's basically the first time it's happened to me in a while. And it's nice to know that that did happen. It was a nice feeling to see a reoccurring character in the cast that plagues my daily life. So, there's that. And the last thing I really wanted to talk about was not really a story, but just kind of a contemplation, a thought. I actually took a shower, and as I was trying to think about stuff to talk about in this episode, I came up with this. And it's just, after I get to episode 20, after I like unveil my big old project, I'm going to be focusing on other things. And the first thing I wanted to focus on is getting really good at something. And I mean that like getting good at a fighting game. Specifically the fighting game that I've been playing a lot. Rivals of Aether. I want to get really good at that game. And so, as I was thinking about like, oh yeah, what could I think about? I realized that I've never really applied myself in anything. And I don't mean that like I've been a slacker, but I've never really gone the extra mile to do great at something. Greatness either came naturally to whatever I was dealing with, or my good enough was literally good enough. I had never really applied myself. And it's weird to think about, but I don't think a lot of people have applied themselves. I don't think, like, unless you were an athlete in school who, like, was on the field every day, trying his hardest every day, working out every day, doing his best every day, then you probably haven't applied yourself. And obviously there's like more for that. There's like people who act, people who do this, people who do that. But I don't think a lot of people apply themselves and go out of their way to do the best at something that they could possibly do. And so that's incredibly interesting for me to think about, because I know I'm not the only one about that. I didn't do sports, and even if I did, I probably would have just said, yeah, that's good enough, or just been naturally good at it myself. And so I want to get really good at something. I want to work hard at something for a change, as opposed to just having something just either naturally given to me or whatever it is I'm doing just being good enough. I want to do my best. And I've been doing my best in other aspects of life, like conversation. I do my best in conversation. I do my best at this and that, but I don't really do my best when it comes to learning a new skill and applying myself. So I want to do my best to learn a new skill. Or not necessarily learn a new skill, but get good at an old one. I want to do my best to do that, and then by the time I do that, I don't know if that's where I want to go. By the time I actually accomplish that, I want to be able to say, yeah, I did my best, and it was good enough. So I want to get really good at rivals, and I want to do that after this, after I'm done with the season of Minecraft, after I finish all my projects. Because what I found is just starting new projects and not finishing old ones is just going to be annoying. You're not going to be able to finish any of your projects. So I'm trying to finish up all the projects in Minecraft, and after that, my next big one I should say, is going to be getting as good as I possibly can. Not passively, but assertively. In something, anything. And what I've chosen that to be is a fighting game. I want to get really good at a fighting game. And that's all. That's all for today. That's all I had to talk about. I could go on and on about other drivel and other trivial stuff, but I just want to apply myself. I want to do good. So, that's all for today, everyone. Hope you enjoyed me just talking. Have a good one.